Hello, it's me again. It's Friday night still, and the migraine has completely lifted, and I'm feeling much better. I've hydrated myself, kept up my fluids. I must have drank about 3 pints of water, and so I thought I would do another video following on from Lonely Lawrence of England Part 4, in which I told you about my childhood at RAF Wittering. I was back in Mrs. Brown's class. At this stage I'd be about 7 years of age, and the school head mistress, whose name was Mrs. Lindsay, said that it was maths which I had to work on, or which the teachers had to work with me very closely on, so that I could grasp figures, numbers, mathematics, sums, equations. Oh, nightmare. Even now, all my palms start sweating when we start talking about mathematics. It is not my strongest subject, never has been. The written word is my bag. I do write poetry, even today. I've had a go at writing a few short stories. And I still have an ambition in life to hopefully one day get published, but we'll talk about that at a later stage. Right now, we stay back in 1971. I'm 7 years of age, and as I say, my father was an RAF military police officer. Now, when you are that age, it is very difficult to understand when things aren't quite right in the family home. Things were not right between my mother and my father, and even though I didn't fully understand what the problem was, I could sense something. My father in 1971 wasn't at home for about a month, and my mother told me that he'd had to go away for a month to relax and think a few things over, which I accepted. I thought it was rather strange that he would just disappear. But things gradually got worse, culminating in one eventful morning when I heard a terrible commotion coming from downstairs. I was in bed. I'd just woken up. It was about 7 o'clock in the morning. And I heard my mother sobbing her heart out. And I also heard the muffled voices of 2 men. And I thought, well, what the hell's going on, you know? I was only very young. I went downstairs and there were two military police officers in our living room comforting my mother. Now, even at such a young age, I immediately thought, my dad's dead. He's died. Because I knew something was radically wrong. One of the military policemen took me to one side and said to me that my father was in prison. Now, at 7, I had a rough idea what a prison was, and all I could think was that my dad had, obviously done something wrong. But I didn't know what. They wouldn't tell me straight away. Then the military police officers left the house. My mother tried to compose herself as best she could. She then sat me on her knee. And she kept crying, and I remember feeling the tears from her wet my cheeks. And she said my father had been arrested and charged with theft. She then said to me that he is a compulsive gambler. He has been betting large amounts of money on horse races, and that he had drained the bank account. There was no money in the bank whatsoever. And this had been going on for some time, and I'd been completely oblivious to it, obviously. And from what actually happened was that my father stole some money from the military police headquarters on the base, from a safe, and he stole something in the region of about £3,000. It was a lot of money. And look at the time. I will continue this story in my next video. Suffice to say that there were great changes that happened within my family, and my life changed. Our lives changed. And I'll talk about that at a later date. Thank you for listening. Good night for now.